All right, so I wanted to show you the 15-minute, not strategy, but just the way you can play the 15-minute chart if you don't have time throughout the day to check the 1 minute or play on a lower time frame. I went through last week and just kind of marked everything. So, you can do it in London or whatever, but if you just wait till New York Open and, wait for a 15-minute CSD and then just honestly take the trade on that 15-minute candle that makes the CSD, it works out way more often than not. So, let's just go through Monday. New week opening gap. Took the high of the new week opening gap at 9:30, and then we closed here at 9:45. Huge range there, but what you can do on that particular case is just split that candle in half. Okay, wait for a 50% retracement or a lower time frame fair value gap or something, like a 5 minute or 1 minute, and wait for it to come back into it and then hit the short. It also kind of gets above 6 a.m. open here to go short, so you can just play it with the stop above this candle. Now it is about 100 points, but as soon as we start to drop off, you can reduce that stop. And if you're trading one micro, that's $200. That might be your daily risk or something in that one trade, but it works out. And we come down and around 1:30, whatever, we have another CSD here. And you can just play that candle. So when that candle makes the CSD, we close above this candle's high. And what I want you guys to start doing actually is using the swing high. So to mark the CSD. Okay, so we have the 1, 2, 3 candle swing. Mark the open or close of the candle that makes the high in the swing for the CSD and use that as a CSD. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's red or green or black. Use that candle. Okay, and right there. So have your entry at the close of this 15-minute. Stop below, or you can drag it down even further and have a looser stop. But more often than not, you can just use the candle that breaks the CSD. And you get 150 points back up to the new week opening gap. That's Monday, so 2 trades, 15-minute. I mean, this is also another one if you want to short here, okay? We close down below here, so this candle, 1, 2, 3. We close here. Stop can be here and go further. So 160 points down to the other new week opening gap. So if you missed the 9:30, 9:45 entry, you can get it again here at 11 because that's another CSD. Anyway, that's basically 3 trades on a Monday that they all 3 win. So let's just say 150 points, 300 points, 450 points. It's kind of hard to argue with that on the lower time frame. Tuesday, 9:30 opens. Right here, CSD doesn't occur till way up here, and then what happens? Nothing, honestly. If you want to get it on the closure of that candle, that's fine. Stop below here, but it's just the way it goes. It's not every trade's going to be a winner. This one actually does go to be a winner, but it's it's all day. You got to hold that all day and wait till 2:30. You know what I mean? To get 100 points. So I don't know. Maybe you hold that, maybe you don't. So let's go to later in the evening. Same thing here. We don't really have a swing point, so you just use the order block. And the CSD's there. Entry here, stop down below. You get 100 points, 75 points. And that's the trade there. Wednesday is here. Everybody knows this trade from Wednesday. It was a great one. But if you look at the 15-minute, simplifies everything. We drop into the gap, close above, CSD, here you can have your stop on that candle's low, and then it's a huge day, 450 points or whatnot, and that's the close at 4 p.m. It does it again here at 1:15. You have a low, take that low, CSD, enter on that candle's close, and ride it up. Same thing here. We have a low, taking the low, and then we close above this candle. So this candle here, enter, go long. And that's a good trade as well, 200 points. So that's Wednesday. 3 opportunities, 10:15, 1:15, and 3:30. And if you notice, there's really not a losing trade in there. Like, there's not a 15-minute CSD to get you in short, honestly. Like, maybe this one here. Like, if you're wanting to go short, maybe here on the close of that candle, you can have a loser if you think you want to short that. But if you align this with the higher time frame draw, it's not going to lose. Like that, this day's a buy model, obviously. So we have the buy model here, and then the larger model here. So it doesn't really hit it until the afternoon, so you shouldn't really be looking to short. Thursday, we open at 9:30 here, drop lower, take a low, take liquidity over here, probably like London or Asia, and we close here above at 10:15. Pretty obvious that we're bullish, and we run it out about 125 points. So somewhere up in there, I'm sure there's a draw on liquidity that we marked, new week opening gap high, whatever, you can get out. Come back down, same thing happens here at 1 p.m. Low, taking the low, taking liquidity, closing above. Gonna go long, it comes back down, this low holds, we run up about 30 points. It's nothing really, a break-even trade or a loser. And then we have 3:30 power hour. So we have a low. I guess this one would actually be a higher up entry, because you have the high, you take the high, you close down below. So that could be the entry here. I kind of marked this one up wrong. You could enter on this candle and have a fine short. Because we've taken liquidity and now we're rejecting new week opening gaps, so you can take the short down, so 200 points or so from there, or you can wait till this one at 3:30 power hour. We close down below, CSD here, okay, and we go down to the 50% of the daily wick there, and also 10 a.m. open is here. Friday, pretty bullish. This one had a really nice London entry down here and down below 2 a.m. And here we have the CSD. But that one, actually, if you use the current candle, that would get stopped out. But anyway, let's go to New York. 9:30 opens, drops lower, taking liquidity, closing higher. Stop loss on that candle's low at 10 a.m. And it, kind of consolidates to Friday, runs up 100 points or so. You can take profits in there. This one does have a bearish CSD here if it loses. So, there's no swing point, but, let's just say you want to short there. Actually, you would short here on the close, 38 points, short there, it doesn't do anything, runs you out and stops you out. Makes one more high, then it closes down below again. CSD here, stop here. 245, consolidates into the close, gives you about 50 points. But it's a Friday, you're not going to be trading Friday afternoons, honestly, you shouldn't be. Friday mornings should be the only thing you trade on a Friday. And let's go to today. So today there was actually the same thing. It's every day, honestly. Like every day just does this over and over. You just have to have like a lot of patience because a 15-minute candle, that's this trade here. 10, 15. Maybe you can take profit. You can take profit anywhere you want, but like new week opening gap, 2 p.m. That's a 4-hour trade. Doesn't take this high until 5.5-hour trade. So I'm not sure if anybody has the patience to hold that kind of stuff. What I would recommend doing is like getting a separate account, like a paper account, testing it out, or getting a cheap Top Step account or whatever prop accounts you like to use. Just buying one and using this particular time frame. Just use the 15-minute time frame, along with the draw and liquidities that I post and the insights with where price might come into, like this gap, and then you can rally out of it. But just use the 15-minute chart and see how that works. If you look to today, today was pretty nice as well because we had the right here a low, taking the low, closing here at 9:30 actually on the CSD. So you could just get long on this candle. Okay, stop below the low, and then you slow grind all the way up to the target, which we called out earlier. It's about 150 points. And then afternoon, same thing. Drop lower, closing above. It would be this particular candle, closing above. It's not the cleanest, honestly, but yeah, still about 80 points or so. And then we do it again here, closing above this bearish candle. But really, it's very clean if you look at the 15-minute and just trade 15-minute CSDs. There's something that I'm probably going to actually do right away with a separate account. I'm not going to mix it with what I have going already, but I'm going to open a separate account and just use this only. And I think, it might outperform the other strategy, honestly. But like here's one from the 23rd. We close here, and that's a CSD, stop above. I mean, you're going to have huge stops, but, having one large stop and one trade or 2 trades a day rather than like taking like 4 or 5 on the 1 minute and getting stopped out, like you're going to have the same loss amount, Like, say you put 1 micro on and you risk $150 on this one trade. You get 250 points out of it. You make 500. So you're going to have bigger winners, and I think it's, as a growing trader, it's something that I didn't do. I don't want to trade higher time frames. Like, I just don't have the patience. I want to be in there on the low time frames and get those really tight stops, get those tight entries, get those really nice risk rewards. But in the reality of it is, it's way easier to trade a higher time frame, such as a 5-minute or a 15-minute, or I wouldn't say an hourly. Hourly is not easy to trade, but you're going to have way less entries, you're going to have way less commissions, and you're going to have way less trades, and much bigger winners. So if you're struggling, just zoom out, get on the 15-minute, get on the 5-minute, and try that. I mean, I would recommend 15-minute, but yeah, anyway, hopefully this helps you guys.